What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka Dussy. uh, who else is here?
I'm your heavyweight champion from Witch Nigga Boy, California, aka the janitor because we watch niggas, aka Marcussy.
Keep the trade rolling.
This is Sean MF Ross.
What the MF stand for?
On Yossi.
I thought he was gonna say mother pussy.
Mother pussy. Who's next? Come on.
I'm Avery.
Come on. That Avery.
The silence, sissy. The disappearing. Let me stop.
No. Come back to the screen.
We kind of need him for the next part. That's who we are. Press X Star Podcast is a weekly show where we talk about the latest gaming news, review the biggest games, and give you our thoughts on the games we're playing. Oh, okay. Our goal is to expand the video game media landscape through an underserved point of view. I got tears in my eyes. Oh my god.
Press X to Stussy.
At least it ain't extra spit in your mouth for once. Remember when that was a problem?
You're right. Don't forget, hit that look-see, click on that subscribe, and then hit that notification button.
I'm just leaving. I don't. It's not what I signed up for. I came here to talk about hard-hitting video game news from an outside perspective.
Oh my god. No, you're right. You know what? I like that. We'll definitely do that. Avery.
Hard hitting, like Jana Jameson's Real Sex 3D. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Not that I've ever played that.
Now that you know what kind of podcast you're gonna get, now it is time for us to talk about the games we have been playing. Marcus, you have been playing a mighty game. Tell us about it.
Yes. So, one second.
Oh shit.
It's very loud over here.
Oh.
I
thought you were gonna pull something out from the side.
Nah, it's just always somebody driving with a very loud engine. But yeah. So I was fortunate enough to get in on the Overwatch 2 beta thanks to my good friend / Blizzard plug, who I will not name because I don't want them to get in trouble. But yeah, I was fortunate enough to jump in on that, and I will say I put in a few hours. I didn't put in as much time as I would have wanted to, but I put in enough time to get a general impression of the game. First thing I want to say is it takes some getting used to. Even if you are a tenured Overwatch player like I am at this point, it's not a different game, but there are fundamental ways that it is different. And so it's not something that you could just like jump into.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a lateral move. Right. Even outside of the fact that it's 5v5 now. One thing that I do want to let people know is even though from a role queue standpoint, it is now 1 tank, 2 DPS, and 2 support, they still do have open queue. So it is entirely possible for you to still be able to run 2 tanks or whatever. It's just you're sacrificing 1 role. So I did see that. I did play through a few open queue games and got a chance, because that was the only way I got to play tank. Because on role queue, the only thing that was like under 10 minutes in terms of queue time was support.
And which is the worst role to play currently right now.
Yikes.
Yeah, though I will say that, like, I noticed with the way that they've kind of reworked the game, I feel like it's harder to, unless you're like reckless, it's a little harder to die. Like, it's
really,
yeah. I feel like a lot of
beefy?
Yeah. Like I feel like definitely tanks and stuff are more beefy because they kind of have to be. But
We're
I
watching
think that the
gameplay of Junker Queen completely just demolishing people. In
oh
case you
yeah,
never knew
like
this.
I'll get to Junker Queen in a second, but like
Yeah,
it's one of the because they had to beef things up or beef the tanks up especially because now with roll queue at least they're only playing with one of them. On top of that, there is this aspect of I think they maybe not nerfed but diminished the ults a little bit so they're not as powerful. Like I
Mm,
remember there'll be times playing Overwatch 1 where even without being super strategic, you could turn the tide of a game with a well-placed ult. And
right.
and the
Mm.
ults in that game were so powerful depending on who you're playing that you could wipe an entire team. I played for several hours and I don't think I ever saw a situation where one ult wiped a team. Like I feel like I saw like combination situations and
Yeah.
then they were able to do a team kill, but one, yeah, it seems like they've kind of I guess diminished the ults a little bit. Maybe it's so I feel like you got to be a little smarter, a little more strategic with your
Yeah.
ults now.
So I guess just to chime in, like, because I think one of the things that I was hearing a lot from, or I guess earlier impressions of the game, that it felt a lot like more back and forth between like you're pushing, the opponents are pushing, like you're pushing, but it wasn't like, oh, they've completely wiped our team out. Okay, so now they're really like covering a lot more ground. So it seems like what you're saying kind of like aligns with that. So I
Yeah,
guess if everyone, yeah,
I think they wanted to ultimately make it feel a little more balanced because
yeah,
in the hours that I played, there was never a situation where I saw somebody get rolled or my team got rolled. Like it was
yeah,
always, yeah, pretty good back and forth. Even if it was a relatively one-sided match, there was always a moment where they turned the tides at least a little bit. So that was
did that
something
feel
that
better to you than like Overwatch 1, or was it just like, oh, this is just different?
there are certain things that feel better.
Okay.
Like the mobility is smoother now,
Yeah,
which is nice. It's just I'm so used to Overwatch 1 that it still is a bit of an adjustment, but it's
yeah,
definitely a little more smooth in terms of mobility. The stages, or at least the new stages, are bigger.
hmm,
And because of that, there's more. I remember one of my biggest complaints with stages in Overwatch 1 was sometimes you could find yourself in like a dead end, and then you just
yeah,
like
yeah.
awkwardly try to have to find your way
Yes.
back to the main area.
Yeah.
Whereas
Oh
with the
man.
newer stages, they're so big and so connected that like it almost seems like any tunnel could lead you to
Somewhere else you need
another
to go.
part of the stage.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So,
so that's cool.
so real quick about the stages, like, is it? Do you feel like there's more verticality to the stages, or are there still like kind of not still, but like, are they more just kind of like 1 to 2 level kind of thing?
I'd say there's more verticality. Once again, they're bigger,
Yeah.
and that is also on terms of like verticality. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's almost the first couple games I played was almost a little overwhelming just because
Mm,
I wasn't used to it,
yeah.
but not in a bad way. It was just like, oh, okay, wow. Let's see. Junker Queen is fun. Junker Queen's one of those characters that just like I said, she'll probably have to be nerfed because she is the type of character like good support
Yeah.
that could not die. Like
Mm.
like if
Yeah.
you're playing Junker Queen well and you got good support, you might not die. Like cuz she has the war cry ability thing that she does where that just kind of not only buffs the rest of the team for a short a period of time, but like you could be almost dead and then you hit the war cry and that gives you like a little bit of extra padding. And so if you got good support on you, then you could basically keep yourself from death repeatedly. And then, she's got the bleed effect. She's got, her shotguns are powerful, or her shotgun is powerful. the throwing knife, and then her ult with just like the extended bleed effect. Like I doubt you'd have to be pretty low in health to get killed by her ult, but if she hits that ult and she runs and she goes through, if she gets like the entire team with the bleed effect, oh, you're getting picked off.
Yeah,
You are getting picked off hard.
So it seems like she works super well with like a coordinated team then, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Junker Queen is actually, it's probably for the best that it's not 6v6 anymore, because good lord, if you had a shield tank and Junker Queen, your ass is grass. Like it's like Roadhog is still a threat, but like Junker Queen for my money is the best brawler tank in the game. And yeah, it's I look forward to playing a bit more with her, just to kind of get more reps with her. But yeah, overall, it's more Overwatch. So, if you're not really into Overwatch, this won't change your mind. Because like I said, even though it's different, it's still fundamentally the same kind of thing. But if you're an Overwatch fan, it does take things that the other game might have needed work on and improves upon them. And it feels fresh. And as someone who loves Overwatch, I had a lot of fun with it, and I will continue to have fun with it.
Cool. Yeah, like just to, I guess, tack on, like me playing the few days I had with Gundam Evolution got me really excited for Overwatch 2. Because it's like, oh, this feels like good. Like the headshot, like that sound effect, because everything that's from Gundam Evolution is just borrowed from Overwatch. So I'm just like, oh, this is all just skills I can transition over.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
and I
I'll
will
be
say
excited for
also,
that.
from a sound design standpoint, this game is crisp. Like the extra sound, the sound that they got in the wild, and just going to like shooting ranges and whatnot to like get more accurate, gun sounds and whatnot. It really shows. It's pretty good.
Genji's sword sounds like an M16. Goddamn.
Hanzo's arrow sounds like a rocket launcher.
Right? Is that an RPG?
One thing I also will say though about the beta, which I mean, I guess by this point, once the episode comes out, there'll be only like 1 week left of beta, but you can't, like, there's no mic for the beta, so you're just gonna have to play it. You're basically, trusting that people will communicate like through game sense. But yeah, there's no mic channel. And also
there is a ping in Overwatch 2. It's weird. It's not as expressive as a Apex ping system, but it's also because one of the things they have to account for is that when I think when you ping something, it keeps an active ping on the target even when they move out of sight. But when you have characters like a Sombra who can just teleport and be invincible, that sort of breaks the game and breaks that character. So they had to account for that. So it's an interesting system.
Yeah, and then last thing I'll say is the stat screen is different now, which was also kind of jarring for me.
I hate
because it now basically looks like a Call of Duty or Apex stat screen. So you can, and because now you can see everyone's stats, that's going to get toxic quick. That is a mistake to me. Like you going to see who the weak link on the team is fast. And it's once mics are in play, oh yeah, it could get bad real fast.
I'm gonna apologize in advance.
You're talking all that shit about how good you are with Sombra. What happened?
I am curious to see how Sean.
It's not it's anyone who's playing Overwatch for stats is a fucking crazy person. It's an objective placed game. If you win and you have 99% time on the objective, then I don't give a shit if you did 0 damage. You're the reason we won this game.
That's true.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I try to top my healing marks every time. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like,
I mean, if you're playing a healer, yes, because nothing sucks to be playing the healer and then get like out healed by a diva, which is like how are they even possible?
yeah,
Or playing the healer and got the most kills on the team. Like, what were you doing?
I have had that happen.
I play Moira and I forget that character can heal.
I have had that happen. But Sean, I'm very curious to see how you take to Orisa because she is different.
I mean, I might use somebody else at this point if they change her.
No, I'm just saying, like, because she doesn't have the shield anymore, but she's a threat. She's a threat. So I'm curious to see how you take to her.
We're all talking about us playing Overwatch, and because of the role system, we all need definitive roles in what characters we're playing. I'm saying this now. I will take the support role. I will take that.
I'll be support too.
Fuck you, DJ. You're playing one of the 2 DPS roles. Get out of here with that bullshit.
I got band-aids.
I'm playing the guy that shoots the other people.
Oh my God. You already know I'm tank or support.
Right, so you're gonna play main tank for us, which means Sean, you will also play DPS. And then we just need to find another support player. Actually, we get Douglas. Douglas plays a mean-ass Mercy and a mean-ass Moira. So we're golden.
Douglas still loves us.
Yeah. But all right, that's my thoughts on the Overwatch 2 beta. Next week, if I'm on, I'll probably have some more thoughts. But yeah, that's kind of like the meat and potatoes of it.
Okay, that's dope. Hey there. Are you enjoying this episode? You are? Great. If you're listening to the podcast, then please leave a review on the podcast app that you're using. If you're watching us, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. After that, you can go to pressx2start.com. There you'll find all the information about us, the podcast, the links to all of our social media channels, and to our Discord. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. Now back to the podcast. All right, Sean, what have you been playing?
Whew. So I played Doom. I finished it, and man, that feels like peak American propaganda. Just the caucasity of this man. Not only, or you know what? It's not him. I think it's the government or whatever was going on in there. But they colonize Mars, and then they send him to hell, and they're like, while you're there, because they had a hell invasion or whatever. But it's like while you're there, kill everybody who's in there. It just rubbed me the wrong way. That's all.
Wow.
And then
I mean, to be fair to the Doomslayer, hell is full of corpses of human beings being mutilated and fucked up. So this is not a good place to be. And then everyone wants to kill you on sight. So
I just felt like his directive that he was given, while you're there, kill everybody. But it is what it is. I've been playing Dead Cells. DJ, I think you might like it. You should try it. It's on.
Yeah. I actually wanted to try it. I gotta figure out where it is. Is that premium or is that essential?
It's extra. It's extra.
Extra? That's the middle tier, right?
The middle tier. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I mean, go ahead, just ball out, man.
Yeah,
wow. All the games I played start with D. But I'm enjoying Dead Cells. I'm gonna keep on playing it. Hopefully I can finish it at some point. Well, it's a roguelike, so finish is relative. But I started Dragon's Dogma last night, and I had the volume low, so I didn't get all the dialogue, so I'm gonna restart it.
Yeah.
But I didn't even fight anything major. I fought maybe like the first couple little easy mobs. And so I was still in the tutorial section.
Okay. So you didn't start in the the underground area with the party already? or did you do
I
that?
guess. I mean, you start as like a level 20 character or some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. So you didn't get to the
Yeah.
end of that.
No, I was still in the
Oh, okay.
tutorial where it's like press R2 to grab things off the floor,
Yes,
and my
yes.
what the fuck you call it? My pet? I don't know what you call that
Your
thing.
pawn, my pet,
Yes,
Slave.
my
same shit,
gimp.
same shit, right? I thought I was trying to pick something off the ground, and I picked up the pawn and threw it, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, this is." You know what? Let me restart this and actually pay attention because this is getting crazy. I'm just picking up people and throwing them.
You ever
Pawn's
just
like,
beat a
whoa.
motherfucker with another motherfucker?
So I say, yeah, let me restart this with the volume up. So I'm gonna actually pay attention to what the hell is going on. Go like, all right, this is getting crazy, and I haven't even gotten to anything major yet. So
Oh yeah. That
I'm
that
gonna try
part
to
ends.
experience it.
Yeah, that ends with a pretty decent fight. But yeah, like your characters are spec to be able to handle that. So
So does that
it'll be fun.
do you lose that character then? I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
yeah,
I figured. I'm like, I started level 20. This makes no sense. I feel
yeah,
like he's gonna
yeah.
die.
And you basically, yeah, things happen, and it. I don't want to spoil anything, but I don't know how far you plan on getting into it. But like things happen, and you're presented with the main character, and you can customize that character, and you can pick the class, and so on and so forth.
Got
Um,
you. Well,
I will
uh,
say in terms of recommendations, because you might start
mhm.
with mage. Mage is unless you
You don't know me.
have unless yeah, unless you have like good pawns, like you might actually
Mhm.
be able to get my pawn because you're my friend. But I don't remember
Sean,
exactly how that works
Sean,
if you're gonna have to pay for it or not.
I wanna roll the clock back when we were talking about Elden Ring. And I was making a lot of recommendations and everything I knew about some Souls games. And DJ was just ignoring everything I said because the internet told him better. So ignore everything he just said right now and just do you.
But I am the internet, Avery. Internet. But yeah, I was just gonna say like you could try the Strider class because you're able
Yeah.
to. That class is more likely able to grab onto the monsters and hold on for a longer period of time. The soldier class can do it, but it's like the stamina is like shorter, and the mage class is just like the shortest out of the three, I believe. But yeah, that should be fun.
Right.
That should be fun. Let me know. I'll be interested in what your thoughts on the game. And that's it though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. DJ, what you been playing? I have been playing this little game called Roller Champions. Anyone remember that game?
Yes.
Of course.
Avery does. How about Marcus? No, and Sean? No. Okay, so Roller Champions was a game that Ubisoft showed off like maybe like 3 years, 4 years ago, something like that. A very long time ago. And I was like, oh, this is like a little roller skating thing where you go around the rink and you hit the opponent, and the idea is to take this ball and throw it into a goal to score points and win the game. And then it went dark for years, and no one knew what was going on with it. There was some like rumors and stuff, and then Ubisoft just threw it out into the world. I actually heard about this game's release from Blessing from Kind of Funny because I was like, oh, I didn't realize it came out, and he played it. He said he had a good time. I was like, all right, I'll give it a chance. It's a free to play game. There is a battle pass. It's the typical Ubisoft, thing that they do. I
Mhm.
jumped in. I made a character. I did a tutorial. I was like, oh, this is all right. I played one match and I'm like, this is this is okay. And then I realized I could just spend my time just tackling the fuck out of people. So I basically just became the DPS of our group, and I was just tackling people. And I had a great time. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Let me try this scoring thing. So I grabbed the ball. I ran around the rink. I saw the little hoop thing that you got to throw, and I threw the ball and went through the hoop. I got 3 points, and I was like, "This game is actually kinda fun." So I played about 3 games in total. They go for about 7 to 8 minutes or something like that. It's kinda long. It should be a bit shorter. Um, the downfall that or the negatives that I had with this game is that There is a point where the ball can go back and forth a little too much, where no one's actually scoring a point, and we're just like, "Oh, you tackle the ball out of me. Okay, I'm running around. I'm tackling the ball out of you." And it's like it's a game of 3-on-3. So scoring, like, I'm rolling around. That game ended with like our team just scoring 1 point or something like that, and I was like, that's a long time for 8 minutes to just score 1 point. The battle pass is, or their monetization strategy is completely just asinine. It's you level this thing up, you get different gloves, you get different shirts and clothes and stuff, and it's like, this don't feel good. I think the core of the game is really solid. I just think the stuff that's bolted onto it in terms of the monetization stuff doesn't really feel great. So
the reason I didn't check out Roller Champions, and this is really shallow, is I just don't think it looks good. And what I mean like doesn't look good, I think the actual like characters in the game look super bland and like in a super weird way. And I think the issue is that because they wanted to go with a gender fluid sort of style in regards to all the characters, where like you can put any character's head on any character's body. Every actual design looks uniformly in a chunk. It just looks weird in a weird way that I don't think aesthetically works for me. And like I was like, I just can't deal with this. And you know how I feel about characters creators.
And you know what? I'll even add on to that. Like, I think this is a Ubisoft problem that I've seen, I've spotted, I've just like noted to myself, and it's apparent here too, where they have this character creator that they use for a lot of their games, and it's just you can tell because when you make the character and the character the character spawns into the game, the character just has a blank stare on his face while it's scrolling through the other characters, and it's just like, and it's like you didn't even bother putting an expression on this. Like, what is happening? And it's
I linked an image in the chat, and this is what the image they're using to sort of advertise the game. And like these are the characters they're using to advertise the game. You can't make a character with that type of character in this game with the game's character creator.
Not at all. Yeah. That blew me too, because I was like, oh, I can do a cool hairstyle like this. There's no hairstyles in this game because all your characters wear helmets. It's a shame.
I mean, if you can't do hairstyles right, then give them none at all.
Everyone's ball. All right, that's pretty much it. I've been playing the normal Gundam and Genshin. I don't really got much to say about that. Oh, I'm not gonna talk about it.
Excellent words.
Say what?
I said excellent words from an orator.
All right. Well, that's pretty much it for what we have been playing. Give me one moment. I can do this little thing. Pop. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed making it. Don't forget to rate and reviews on your favorite podcasting apps. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on our YouTube channel, your favorite YouTube channel. We just want you to play games. You just have a good time, enjoy it. Just be true to yourself. Don't let the government weigh you down.